Police reviewed every second of security footage, every camera, every angle. The lead detective tracked every person who entered the bar that night, then tracked them leaving. Everyone was accounted for. Everyone except Brian. The detective told reporters, "I can say with 100% certainty that Brian Shaffer did not leave via the escalator. The surface elevator required a key card. Only employees had access. Staff were on camera using it all night. None matched Brian's description. But the back exit was more complicated than it first appeared. A service door not far from where Brian was last seen opened to a first-floor hallway that was connected to an active construction area with its own exterior exit. Officers said navigating it would be nearly impossible drunk, but the cameras covering that route weren't fixed. One panned back and forth on a cycle. The other was manually operated. There were gaps. Not many, but enough that a person could slip through unseen. That was the only crack in a sealed box, and nobody can prove Brian went through it. No witnesses saw anyone use the exit. Nobody saw anyone at the construction site, but the gap existed. In a case that seems impossible, every detail matters. Police checked cameras at 3 other nearby bars. None of them saw Brian either. Wherever he went after walking off camera at the Tuna, no other camera spotted him. K9 units tracked Brian's scent from the street to the escalator, up to the bar entrance. Then the dogs circled the same spot near the door and sat down. The trail stopped, as if Brian was there one minute, then gone the next. Police organized search parties. Volunteers combed the campus, construction sites, abandoned buildings. They searched the Olentangy River, which runs through Columbus near the campus. They even convinced the city to let them search the sewer system, dumpsters, every alley within miles. Brian's apartment was only 6 blocks from the bar. His car was parked outside. Nothing inside was disturbed. Clothes in his closet, books on his desk. Whatever Brian was planning, he was planning on coming home. His phone went directly to voicemail. There was no GPS in 2006, so no way to track it. He had his wallet with him, but he didn't use his credit cards. He didn't touch his bank account. No activity on anything. Monday morning, Alexis's engagement ring still sat in his apartment. She waited at the airport, but Brian never showed, and the flight to Miami left without him. Everyone who saw Brian that night was asked to take a polygraph. His father Randy took one and passed. Meredith Reed took one, passed. Bar staff, other friends, all agreed, all passed. All except Clint Florence. Clint was the only person to spend the entire evening with Brian, the last friend to see him alive, the one who admitted they argued on the balcony but wouldn't say why. When police asked him to take a lie detector test, he refused. Then he hired an attorney. Later, he was subpoenaed to appear before a grand jury. He refused to answer questions there too. Refusing a polygraph is legally smart. Defense attorneys tell clients to refuse them because the machines are unreliable. Clint's refusal doesn't make him guilty, but in a case with 0 leads and 0 evidence, it's the one thread that won't stop pulling. Meanwhile, the search spiraled outward. A psychic told Randy Shaffer that Brian's body was in water near a bridge pier. So Randy and Derek, Brian's younger brother, bought waders. They spent their weekends in the Olentangy River, searching under bridges. Randy had just buried his wife, and now he was standing knee-deep in freezing water, searching for the body of his son. Brian had a Pearl Jam tattoo on his arm. When the band played Cincinnati later that year, Eddie Vedder stopped between songs and asked 15,000 people for information about Brian Shaffer, the lead singer of one of the biggest rock bands in the world, standing on stage, personally asking for help finding a missing fan.
Whistler seemed to vanish in thin air, and he had a girlfriend, Alexis, who loved him. They were planning on getting married, and he was going to med school, and he had a great dad named Randy. He came to one of our shows a number of years ago, maybe 7 years ago, and the website, I think, has tried to keep the issue to the forefront and keep reminding people to be on the lookout. He had a 6'2", handsome guy. He had a Pearl Jam tattoo on his right arm. So the fan site tried to keep the issue afloat, but to no avail. So we just want to, we were taking a second back there trying to figure out what to play, and we just want to send this one out to him and let him know wherever he is, we're still thinking about him.
Nobody had anything. 15,000 people in a stadium and not one useful lead. Then, in September, something happened. Alexis had been calling Brian's phone every night before bed. Every single night since April. The same thing every time. Straight to voicemail. Straight to voicemail. But then one night, 5 months after Brian disappeared, his phone rang. For the first time in months, Brian Schaefer's cell phone rang, but nobody answered. Singular, Brian's wireless provider, said it was probably just a glitch. But a ping from the phone was detected at a cell tower in Hilliard, Ohio, 14 miles northwest of Columbus. Something activated that phone. The lead was never explained. The phone went silent again. It never pinged another tower. Some investigators looked at the so-called smiley face killer theory. Some believed the serial killer was targeting drunk college-age men in the Midwest and dumping their bodies in rivers. Young men fitting Brian's profile had turned up dead in waterways across several states. Police looked into it. The FBI looked into it. Both rejected any connection. If the smiley face killer was real, and most law enforcement said he isn't, Brian would be the only victim whose body was never found. Now, possible sightings were reported in Michigan, in Texas, in Sweden. A man matching Brian's description was seen at a bar in the Caribbean. Another was spotted at a bus station in the Southwest. Police investigated every single one, sent officers, compared photos, checked records. Nothing panned out. Randy Schaefer drove to Columbus every weekend for 2 years, walked the streets around the Gateway building, handed out flyers, searched the river, hired investigators, spent everything he had. In 2008, 2 years after Brian vanished, Randy was killed in a freak accident when a branch broke from a tree and fell on him. Derek Schaefer, Brian's younger brother, inherited everything alone. The search, the questions, the weight of a family that stopped existing one member at a time. A mother, a brother, a father. 3 people gone in 2 years. Derek kept searching. He still does. Shortly after Randy's death, Clint Florence's attorney sent a letter to a private investigator working the case. In it, he wrote, "If Brian is alive, which is what I'm led to believe after speaking with the detective involved, then it is Brian and not Clint who is causing his family pain and hardship." The detective on the case believed Brian was alive. In 2020, the Ohio Attorney General's office digitally aged Brian's photo to show what he might look like in his mid-40s. Dateline covered the case. America's Most Wanted covered it. The internet never let it go. There's a subreddit dedicated to finding him, and every year on April 1st, people share his photo and ask the same question: where is Brian Schaefer? He would be 46 years old today. 19 years have passed. His phone has never pinged another tower. His credit cards have never been used. His social security number has never appeared in any database. No hospital records, no police reports, no death certificate. His body has never been found. The Ugly Tuna closed years ago. The building still stands on North High Street. The cameras are gone now. New businesses occupy the space, but the escalator still runs. But somewhere in those final seconds, in a narrow window between camera angles, between one frame and the next, a 27-year-old medical student vanished. The footage is still there, archived in police evidence, frame by frame, second by second. Cameras prove that Brian Schaefer entered that building. They also prove that somehow he never left.